Hey friends, welcome to Vlogmas Day 2. My name is Aaronica from Aaronica B. Cole & Co. And of course, it is the most wonderful time of the year because I'm bringing you 24 days of creativity, cozy vibes, and maybe even a little bit of chaos because let's be real, it is the holiday season and I've got 3 kids. So let's get into today's content, which of course is talking about the holiday gift list that I really think that makers and the sewists in your life would love. So if you are watching this and you are the sewist who needs to be bought for, go ahead and send this to the person who needs to be buying you some presents this year. Go ahead. I'll wait. Okay, so listen. Today we're going to be talking about some gifts for the sewist in your life. And again, if that's you, make sure that you're sharing with this with the person who needs to be buying you your presents, okay? In truth, I love gift giving. It is my absolute favorite. I'm probably the worst because when I buy people presents, I can't hold on to it. Immediately, I'm like, come on, let me just give it to you, right? That is me as a gift giver. And it's not something I want to change about myself, in truth. I love it. And also, I'm like really good at giving gifts. Why? Because I take the person's interest into account, their favorite colors, the things they love. So yeah, I'm an excellent gift giver, which is the reason why you all should be taking everything that I say and applying it to your own gifts this year. Okay. So I really do take a lot of pride in giving gifts, like I said, and I want you all to do that too. Now, I get that some of us might be like anti-Amazon right now. So I'm definitely going to make sure that when I give the links, I include Wawak, Amazon, Etsy, all of the above. So I want to make sure that you all are able to get these gifts, right? And even if you can't find it via the link that I dropped below, just the idea in and of itself will make things a lot easier, especially because I know that I've got peeps who are from different countries who watch my content, which I appreciate. Hey, y'all. I hope you're doing fantastically well today. So let's get into it. This is going to be, I feel like many of us, if you are a sewist, you're like, duh. But if you are not a sewist, you're going to be like, girl, I love you. Thank you so very much. So let's hop into it. Starting with sewing notions, okay? A new tape measure. Okay, so just because the sewist in your life has a tape measure does not mean that they don't need to know one. Why? Because tape measures stretch out. And if they are consistently using that tape measure, then they likely are not getting the most accurate measurements anymore because it is no longer an inch. It's now like a little bit more, and that can affect things, right? Where they say measure twice, cut once. And when it comes time to cutting into our good fabric, we want to make sure that we have done just that. Pins and or wonder clips. And I said this in the same one. Why? Because I don't particularly love using pins, but you know what I don't love even more? I hate a dull pin, okay? A dull pin is definitely one of the things that will send me in a tizzy. So make sure that you get some fresh, sharp pins, as well as some new wonder clips. Why? Because those wonder clips break. They fall on the ground, and next thing you know, you've stepped on a wonder clip and it's broken underneath your foot. It also really hurts along the same lines of like stepping on a Lego. Okay. Then there's also a fresh seam ripper or an artisan seam ripper, even better. I've put a link to an Etsy shop. Again, here's the thing. No one wants to use their seam ripper, but when we do, we got to make sure that that thing is fresh, okay? A dull seam ripper will definitely make or break a project. So then new fabric shears. I love the Tula Pink fabric shears. Actually, I love Tula Pink everything. So judge someone else. But also I love the LDH fabric shears. They've got this heavyweight one. And then I think that Ginger is probably the most commonly found because you can buy it at Joann's. And then of course, if you really love this person in your life, go ahead and invest in some Kai scissors for them because they are literally the best of the best, okay? Same thing with a rotary cutter. Again, I think that the blades from the Tula Pink rotary cutter are the sharpest and they last the longest. Very quick story. When I got my first Tula Pink rotary cutter, which I always keep close by, I went and I was like just rotary cuttering just like how you're supposed to. Y'all, I slit through my finger back here. And here's the thing. I didn't even feel it. I didn't feel it because the blade was so sharp. I could not feel it. Yes, I was gushing blood, but I didn't feel it. And I feel like that's a big thing, right? Then of course we've got thread from Aurifil. And if you are like, hey girl, what kind of thread should I get? Oh, go ahead and grab that rustic chic. It features these colors. Why? Because it's my collection with Aurifil. Boom. And then, of course, doing some really fun clothing labels. I know that Kylie and the Machine has some really fun ones, but then you can also design your own with Dutch labels. If you are someone who is like really creative and you're artsy or you do graphic design or something along those lines, even designing your own labels for your person in your life, that is really cool. Slept on gift. Now, some accessories, because just because you sew doesn't mean that the only thing that you want is like a sewing or fabric shears or something that you can utilize while sewing. Oh, actually, before I move past, and I guess this is technically a notion, definitely including the sew tights. Okay, anything that is by sew tights should be up on this gift guide. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because they have their products have grown, and not only have they grown, but they are fantastic, right? Like I've got their magnets, their magnetiles, and not magnetiles. God, that is a kid's toy. But I've got their sewing magnets where you can actually, in essence, use them instead of using a pin to clip things together. They are truly fantastic. Also, utilizing their cutting mat that you can use the actual magnets on to hold your fabric together to go ahead and cut and make sure there's no shifting. It is hands down one of the most useful tools in the world. So definitely the sew tights, the sew tights system is fantastic. But even just getting the magnets, really great. They also have a magnetic like pin cushion that attaches to your shirt or you can put it on your sleeve or whatever. And really great gift for the person who uses pins when they sew. So now let's move on to these accessories because who doesn't love a mug or something along those lines to celebrate what it is that we do in sewing? First up, and yes, I own it. I'm not going to tell you how to buy something I wouldn't buy myself. But this is the cute trucker hat that was designed by Alyssa Threads. And Alyssa Threads is a girlfriend of mine. Then, listen, I already talked about my girl, Romy Crystal from So Like. And I talked about her in the last New Pattern November video. But she's got the cutest little bags and mugs and things like that that she has designed. Love that. Definitely buy that for someone in your life. And then my boo, Empty Bobbin Society, who is owned by Frank. He has these sweatshirts that say Empty Bobbin Society on them. Fantastic gift. Sewing themed jewelry is definitely one of my favorite things to have. I've got some earrings, I have necklaces. I love to represent my my hobby, my passion, to be honest. And then of course, even just getting gift cards for fabric, gift cards for patterns, and supporting small businesses in that process. So when I say those gift cards for the patterns, like check out Made for Mermaids, buy my patterns, right? Or check out some of these new pattern designers and buy an Etsy gift card so that you can go ahead and encourage them to shop for themselves at these places. As far as fabrics go, listen, hands down, one of my favorite places is bohofabrics.com. I love the selection that she offers. She has a great, fantastic selection for both woven fabrics as well as knit fabrics. Then, of course, we've got Amanda's bundles. Um, and then everyone loves Stone Mountain fabrics as well as the Blackbird fabrics. Also, shout out to Minerva.com. You can get a Minerva.com gift card. And of course, you guys know, and I feel like I talk about her all the time, but the fabric godmother, go ahead and stock up on some gift cards for the people, okay? And allow them to shop freely, right? Because again, even though we are focusing on consuming less this season, I still think that allowing people to live a little, especially treating themselves when they feel like it's necessary or when, I don't know, maybe they need it, right? Allowing them to do that on their terms, fantastic. So, If you are a sewist, go ahead and drop below what is on your wish list this season so that someone who's watching this can also take a look in those comments and possibly get an idea. But I'm also interested because who knows, I might be sending my own husband shopping on that list too. And again, this was day number 3 for Vlogmas. And thank you so much for coming. Again, stay merry, stay bright. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with someone who you feel like needs to see it. Drop a comment and make sure you turn on that bell for notifications for the next time I drop a video. Until next time, happy sewing.